So there was this competing conference to CPAC over the weekend called AFPAC, the America First. Yeah, the America First Political Action Conference. It is a white nationalist far right conference overtly. So you could say, well, isn't CPAC sort of that? CPAC is what's crazy is CPAC is now a radicalized version of what Republicans used to be. AFPAC is a radicalized CPAC. And there were a whole bunch of different white nationalist extremists at the rally or conference. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was a headline speaker at the event. And she was then rightly criticized, saying, you went to what is almost an out and out Nazi event. It's a white nationalist event. These are some of the absolute worst people right now. And she claims ignorance to all of it. So let's take a look. She said, I was there because I want to speak to young people. Let's listen.
But I'm glad to talk to you about this. I do not know Nick Fuentes. I've never heard him speak. I've never seen a video. I don't know what his views are, so I'm not aligned with anything that may be controversial. What I can tell you is I went to his event last night to address his very large following, because that is it's a very young following, and it's a generation I'm extremely concerned about.
It's a white nationalist.
Excuse me a minute. I'll tell you exactly why I went. I went to talk to them about America First policies, and I talked to them about what.
It's interesting. She says she doesn't know who Nick Fuentes is, and she doesn't know anything about the white nationalist leanings of he and the group, but she knows that these are young people and that there's a bunch of them and that they care about America first. And for having no idea who these people were, you seem to know a lot about it. I spoke here knowing it was a large group of young people engaged in America First policy. Controversies, white nationalism. I don't know anything about that. So I just wanted to speak to them to give them my America First ideas. Absurd. She then put out a written statement where she said, I mean, look at this self-victimization. The Pharisees in the Republican Party may attack me for being willing to break barriers. What a martyr, huh? And speak to a lost generation of young people who are desperate for love and leadership. But I won't abandon these young men and women because I believe we need to do better by them. I won't cancel others in the conservative movement, even if I find some of their statements tasteless. Marge, it's a white nationalist event. I encourage them to seek wisdom and apologize to those who have been hurt by their words, or as I've had to do. Our faith calls for charity and forgiveness. And then she just goes completely insane. I'll keep fighting against identity politics and Marxism. What Marxism are you fighting against? I'll keep speaking out and speaking up. Our nation is only capable of protecting sovereignty. And then pulling out this insane statement. The atheist media demands no disavowal from left-wing politicians who hang out with jihadis and abortionists, but they demand immediate disavowals of any Republican willing to speak to 1,200 people gathered to declare that Christ is king and brand them in headlines exclusively by their sins. Just as a little sampling of what there was at this AFPAC event, just before bringing on Marjorie Taylor Greene, there was Nick Fuentes saying that their secret sauce is young white men. And then everybody started chanting Putin, Putin.
And you want to know the secret? To borrow a phrase from a friend of mine, our secret sauce here, it's these young white men. That's what we call the secret ingredient. America and the world has forgotten about them, but not us.
I don't think anybody's forgotten about young white men.
They say about America, they say, diversity is our strength, you know. And I look at China and I look at Russia. Can we give a round of applause for Russia? Yes. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So then Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke, and the rest is sort of history. These are really dangerous movements, and there's levels, right? There's concentric circles. It's like, okay, you've got the entire right wing. Like, well, all right, well, that's a pretty big range. You've got absolute lunatic, murderous extremists, and you've got people where I disagree with them about what the top tax rate should be. Okay, all right. But then you've got to find within that, you've got the Trumps, the Trumpians, and then you've got the CPAC Trumpians. And then you've got people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then you've got, so there's these concentric circles. And unfortunately, it can all spread outward and infect the entire movement. And that's how you end up with more than half believing Joe Biden didn't really win the 2020 election. I'm really excited that one of our sponsors today is Helix Sleep. I sleep on a Helix mattress at home. I absolutely love it. And that's why I reached out to them about sponsoring the David Pakman Show. Buying a mattress in the past was always a huge guessing game for me. I didn't know what I actually needed. I didn't know what I would like. But Helix has a sleep quiz on their website. You tell them your body type, your sleeping position, your back pain issues you might have, and their tool matched me with a mattress that is perfect for me. It's cool enough at night. It's the right firmness. I generally just do way better sleeping these days because of the mattress. Helix was awarded #1 best overall mattress for the last 2 years by both GQ and Wired magazine. It is well-deserved, I can tell you firsthand. Every Helix mattress comes with a 10-year warranty. You can try the mattress risk-free for 100 nights, and they will even come pick it up at your house if you don't love it, but I know you will. All of my viewers will get up to $200 off your order, and you'll get 2 super premium pillows for free when you go to the link right underneath this video.